Welcome to the extended version of this lesson on the fundamentals of structure. We just covered what story structure is, how it can be divided into phases and moments, and covered what we mean when we use the term model. Now, let's talk about why story structure works so well at creating successful stories. Just like we explored why humans tell stories in the last mini-course, let's talk about why writers developed story structure. First, imagine a variety of early stories being told all around the world. Some stick around while others are forgotten. Eventually, academics like Joseph Campbell look at all of these stories and realize there are similarities. And these similarities are the core of modern story structure. It's important that we highlight that these similarities are being pulled from only the best stories, the myths that stuck around, the tales told through generations. So when writers pick them apart and find similarities, they are really finding the aspects of these stories that led to their popularity. And replicating them can ensure that our stories have that same longevity. To understand, let's look at storytelling through the lens of evolution. Whether or not you believe in it, the theory of evolution is often misunderstood. A lot of people think that animals will find themselves in tricky situations and actively change to survive and thrive. So if food is on high branches, the animal decides to grow a long neck to reach it. But this isn't the case. Evolution occurs slowly with tiny changes and is rooted in the idea of survival of the fittest. The animals that have slightly longer necks will get more food, while the short-necked animals will die. Over generations, the longer necks will slowly get longer, and eventually we get giraffes. And this only happens because there are certain traits that get passed on in the genes of the surviving animals. And the weaker traits die out in the weaker animals that, well, die. When we look at stories through this lens, we can imagine thousands of stories fighting for survival. The ones with strong storytelling elements are remembered, while the weak ones are forgotten. So, when we look at the shared traits of popular stories, it's like looking at the shared traits of the fittest animals. These are traits that led to these stories surviving and thriving. And when we take all of these traits and put them together, we get, you guessed it, story structure. So why does story structure work so well? Because it takes the lessons from stories that survived generations and fuses them with the best pieces of writing advice. And now that we understand the why behind structure, let's talk about one of structure's most popular theories. The stories can be divided into 3 acts.